One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
Hey everybody out there, check this out.
What?
Osiris Media and No Simple Road know that a lot of you guys are out there making it to live shows all the time, and that's awesome, you guys. Way to go. Support live music. But we want to help you connect with the artists and music you love so those live experiences feel even more meaningful. That is kind of the mission of No Simple Road and Osiris. We also want to make sure that you're safe when you're out there having fun, you guys. When you pick something up at a show and you're not sure what it is, that's not a good thing. There's a lot of drug misrepresentation going on out there. So, Osiris and No Simple Road have partnered with Dance Safe to raise awareness about the dangers of this. DanceSafe is a nonprofit organization that provides adulterant screening services as well as peer-based education to help support people in making informed decisions about their health and safety, which is what we're all about. DanceSafe prevents harm from consumption of misidentified substances for thousands of people every year. When you're out there seeing your favorite artist, dance like I'm watching you. No, dance like nobody's watching, but dance safe because your life can depend on it. To donate or learn more, visit dancesafe.org and look out for their booth at the next live music event. Take care of yourselves, guys. Dance safe. Obviously is part of Osiris Media, since we're talking about partnering with DanceSafe and Osiris and all that stuff. And you know what? There's lots of cool stuff happening. Politics of Truth is getting ready to come out. That's a new Osiris original, hosted by Bob Crawford of the Avett Brothers, and that covers the 2020 election that's going on, and it has some of the top people out there like John Howman of Showtime's The Circus, Mark McKinnon from The Circus, Rob Costa of The Washington Post, Margaret Talev from Axios, and Mickey Hart from The Grateful Dead. So keep an eye out for that one. Also check out Freak Flag Flying. That is that amazing podcast with David Crosby and Steve Silberman. And you guys, if you haven't listened to it, you got to go check it out. Another one you got to check out that's not part of Osiris Media, but a friend of No Simple Road, is the Earfloss podcast. That's a bi-weekly music and history podcast that covers every genre. It's not just jam specific, and they're amazing. Check them out. Go to Google them, the Earfloss podcast, or you can find them on all the podcast platforms. And remember, support Osiris Media and the Osiris family.
Osiris Media.
Hey, Skull and Roses is coming up, and we happen to be the official podcast of Skull and Roses.
Yes, we are.
It is going to be in Ventura, California, April 2nd through the 5th. So we're going to have 4 fun-filled days of Grateful Dead amazing music.
Yeah, man. I am super excited to get down there and see Voodoo Dead.
Melvin Seals.
Billy and the Kids.
Yeah, that I don't know when the last time Billy and the Kids played, but it's been a hot minute.
It's been a little bit.
Yeah. And Keller Williams, Grateful Grass is playing.
Yeah, there's so much going on, guys. So if you are in the area or not in the area but are interested in coming to the top performers of this amazing Dead music, then come out to Ventura, California, April 2nd through the 5th, and get your tickets to Skull and Roses at skullandroses.com.
Or you can go to www.nosimpleroad.com and you can grab tickets through the link there. And I'll tell you what, man, 4 days on the beach, hanging out with No Simple Road
setting.
And the rest of the Grateful Dead family, the top bands in this thing that are happening right now, like Ghost Light, Circles Around the Sun.
I was just going to say Circles Around the Sun is going to be there.
It's going to be an amazing time. And as far as festivals go, this is an inexpensive one. So grab your tickets at skullandroses.com or nosimpleroad.com and come hang out with the family.
And Big Steve and the Ass Bites from Hell.
Yeah. and you should see the look Apple just gave me. Well
done.
Gotta
say it like that.
Okay.
See you there, guys.
Bye.
Hey, welcome back. This episode of No Simple Road is brought to you by
Shop Tour Bus.
What was that? Wow, something happened there.
Yeah,
so,
I get something shot out of my throat.
yeah, Aaron gets very excited about Shop Tour Bus.
Yes,
So
we all do.
You should too. You should head on over to Shop Tour Bus. They are on Instagram. That's shoptourbus.com, and check out their one-of-a-kind, hand-designed, Grateful Dead inspired lyrical T-shirts. That was kind of weird.
That was perfect.
Here's the thing. They are not on Instagram at shoptourbus.com. They are on Instagram at shoptourbus, and they are online at shoptourbus.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
Yeah. Everybody knows
please
that.
continue.
I'm sorry. So yeah, go get one of these beautiful shirts. They also have stickers, and they have hoodies, and they have onesies for babies.
Well, I think it's like a T-shirt.
Like
a little baby, little baby
T-shirts?
T-shirts with Eyes of the World.
Well, and right now, I was just looking. They got these awesome 11 sticker packs with St. Stephen's, China Cat, The Music Never Stopped, and the other one. They have awesome designs. And
what other one?
I see what you did there.
Oh. So if you get these, you're not just going to get it in a boring old envelope or something. It's going to come in a beautifully hand-designed, one-of-a-kind box with a lyric on it. You can request it. You can put notes in it to people if you get something for somebody else. Yep. You will get...
Like Happy Valentine's. Here's your Shop Tour Bus tee.
That just passed.
But, well, hey, there's always,
a pretend Valentine's.
Could be all year.
Yeah.
Okay. Shouldn't just be one day. But you will get that with a bootleg tape is one of the coolest things you will get, with an awesome show from the past on a bootleg. And if it happens to get stuck in your tape deck or you have problems with it, comes with a pencil to spool that back up.
And if that doesn't like move you to go to shoptourbus.com online or at shoptourbus on Instagram, look, they're going to give you free shipping because you listen to No Simple Road. Put in the promo code No Simple Road when you check out, and you'll get free shipping, and you're going to get
more than you bargained for.
More
Yay.
than you bargained. Define Premium Cannabis is a sponsor of No Simple Road. Not only are they a sponsor of No Simple Road, they are the purveyor of fine premium cannabis in the Portland area. They have 2 locations to serve you, one in Hillsboro, one in Forest Grove. If you go into the Hillsboro location Monday through Friday and you ask for Apple, he will float out of the back room on a cloud of cannabis smoke in a wizard's outfit with his beard with glitter in it, riding on a unicorn, and he will actually tend your bud. That will happen. And if you say that you're part of the No Simple Road family and you listen to the show, you're going to get 10% off your purchase.
And a free t-shirt.
So listen, guys.
But that wizard stuff wasn't true.
You won't know unless you go in.
If you're high enough, it is.
Listen,
I feel like that sometimes.
with those Go Fudge Yourself chocolates that you've been eating.
Oh, dang.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we have a new product out there from Lori and Mary Jane's. They're killing it.
Oh,
it's
Lori
Keef,
and Mary Jane's?
Yeah, it's Keef infused Go Fudge Yourself fudge. We also got some of their truffles in, but last night I enjoyed some of the Go Fudge Yourself. I overindulged.
I just had a brownie and it's starting to kick in.
With the Keef infusion, it's just they're amazing, and I still feel it from last night. I'm very relaxed.
And what I need to say about Define on a personal note is that they have been my medicine for the past 2 years.
Yeah,
that's the main source that I get my medicine from, and I am grateful to that because they are always helping with my minor ailments, aches and pains, and my mood elevation, and my creativity, and just my taking the edge off of the day. So thank you to Define Premium Cannabis in Hillsboro and in Forest Grove, and we appreciate all that you do for the Portland area.
And for the No Simple Road family. So go in there, let them know you listen to the show, get 10% off your purchase, a free t-shirt, get an education, meet Apple, see a real live wizard with glitter and unicorns, and take care of your
mind, your head, and your soul.
Right on.
And your body. I left that out.
Far out, man.
Yeah.
Everything.
No Simple Road. No Simple Road. No Simple Road. No Simple Road.
Hi, my name is Tim Wheaton. I'm the host of the Daddy Unscripted podcast. No, it's not just me talking with dads about being dads, and it's not just for dads, that's for sure. What it is a varied spectrum of inspiring stories and emotional tales from a wide range of guests that come from the world of sports, of music, and even the guy that lives down the street from you. Not that guy, but the other guy. Yeah, that one. I can pretty much guarantee you're going to get something out of every episode. So come check out the Daddy Unscripted podcast.
You sit here and try and whittle it down all day, and nothing going to happen. Nope. Hey now, No Simple Road family. How's it going out there, everybody?
Hi, guys.
This is
Aaron.
Aaron. This is Aaron.
All peeps. This is Mel.
And Apple.
We are here in the dining room. We're not on the porch.
Yeah,
It's
still
very
cold
windy
winter.
out there.
It's wintry.
I just wonder if having the equipment out on the porch when it's been raining is bad for the equipment.
There's a lot of moisture out there.
Such a weird word, moist.
Moisture.
Is it moist outside? Is it bad for the microphone?
There's a lot of humidity out.
Yeah.
And when it's cold, I think condensation could happen from the coldness even.
Yeah.
We have something very special for you guys this week.
What?
Is part of our lead up to Skull and Roses Festival. Thank you again, Dennis McNally, for helping us get this
hooks
interview.
it
I
up.
love you, Dennis.
Dennis, thank you so much.
This week is the one, the only, the masterful man of the skins,
Jay Lane.
I'm sorry, Jay. I just forgot who we're. I'm
Mel
shocked.
went blank. She thought we were doing Chris.
But I
Dyer.
like that you looked surprised. Like what? We have Jay Lane on the show.
I'm excited
because I was part of this conversation, and I'm excited for everybody to hear it. Like, it was amazing. Thank you for such an awesome interview, Jay. It was super fun, and I really felt like we got to know you a little bit. Like, really,
Very
the
open
real
and free
person.
flowing.
Yeah.
and I appreciated that because it just made what you were talking about and just Skull and Roses just even that much more exciting for me anyway. You know,
the thing I realized about Jay that I really like about him, and I think I said this to him in the interview. I haven't listened back to it yet, but even before we talked to him, he's very candid when he plays and when he speaks.
straightforward.
Very and like not afraid to speak his mind or his opinion. He's not like, this is a guy that is not like touting the company line.
Do you think that lots of musicians are afraid?
Of what?
Music.
You got to explain what you mean by that.
Because, like, you know, people have like their internal fears about stuff, but musicians, they have to do it. Like otherwise you're not a
perform.
musician.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can love it so much, but if you don't play it, that means that you're not, you know what I mean? Like, you're not a musician if you're not playing your instrument.
I don't know if I don't think fear is the right word. I don't think they're afraid. I think that musicians are critical of themselves. I think that's a thing.
Well, I was likening it to like the fearlessness that Jay plays with. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can't be shy to play that way.
Oh, okay, like holding back.
And I
or
don't
like
know if
not
it-
putting yourself out
Yeah,
there
you
all
have
the
to-
way because
Exactly.
Okay.
You have to like really like do it all the way.
Yeah, you can. Well, I mean, yeah. You're right.
Well, of course, you know, like if maybe you're doing a job that's easy to you, there's not as much effort, but you still literally have to do the right beats. You have to do the right time. Like,
Yeah.
so you have to perform like good. You have to perform. And then you also have to perform, like get it.
And that's
Like,
one
if
thing
you
I
have
think,
a-
like with
you
his
know?
playing and like a lot of the people we interview is the improvisation.
Yeah.
There's no.
That to me, that
I don't
would
think
make
it's
it
one thing. But
funner.
I don't think it's one thing or another. I dig his style.
It's more fun, Apple.
funner.
No, it's weird that you brought this up because
Why?
I was actually thinking about this a couple days ago.
Thinking about what?
What you're talking about that fearlessness and I was thinking, like, to be a professional musician. Okay, let me back up. I was thinking about
beep, beep.
Yeah, thanks, Apple. I was thinking about the
I love you,
conversation we had with Chris Dyer, and I asked Chris if he was proud of himself.
Yes.
And he said, yeah. And then we got into this whole conversation about the fine line between being proud of what you do and being a cocky dick. And then I was thinking about the musicians that we've spoken to, and I can't think of any one of them that comes across to me personally as a cocky dick. All of them seemed proud of the music that they make and the work that they do, but they weren't cocky, right?
No.
And so I was thinking to myself, like, when you get up on stage and you're going to play to a room full of people, I would imagine that you would have to feel like what you have is worth giving to them.
What you have is what they want.
Right.
That's the even more how to say it.
And
they're looking at you, and what you're thinking they want is yes.
and
The answer is
what
yes.
you're thinking is yes.
what they want is
Yes.
yes. Do you want yes?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and also, I mean, not just worth it, but like, you know what? My shit's badass, and I'm gonna fucking do it.
You can't be doing it half-assed. Well, we call that around here doing it with the face.
Doing it with you can't do it with a face.
Or throwing it away.
Yeah, or phoning it in. Yeah, that you can add that to the lexicon. That's part of spanky booty.
I think that's what keeps it like so. Like,
don't throw it away,
like
guys.
This, like, well, not genre, but this music. That's what keeps it so fun for them and us. Is it's never the same.
Well, yeah,
it's not like the like bands that do the same set list every night. Well, that to me would be boring. And
well, it might be fun for a while because you get into it and
Oh yeah, it'd be fun for a while. Exactly.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be constantly changing.
I read a article in interview with Jay a couple of days before we interviewed him, and he was talking about scarlet begonias, right? And he was talking about exactly what you're saying right now about how the improvisational nature of the music makes it fun because it's not the same thing every time. And he said, I wonder if somebody took all the versions of Scarlet Begonias and put them on a computer and like overlaid them on top of each other, if any two of them would ever sync up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and all the times it's been done by so many bands.
Probably not.
No.
So that song...
Maybe like little part here, you'd be like, oh, there's right there, that part, second, that was it.
That one thing, but that thing having been played however many hundreds of thousands of times or whatever, has never been the same thing twice. Even trying to play it straight. You can't play that thing the same.
No.
Even trying to play it straight.
Well, that's what makes it awesome, like going to Skull and Roses to see 4 days of, we're going to hear several songs many times, but they're all different.
If you're not a Deadhead fan, like if you're a pure music fan, going to see something like that is very unique because if you have a favorite band, like even if they like say U2 has like tons of albums, so they could probably do something that's a multiple day thing without playing the same music, but there's not like swarms and swarms of U2 fans all over. I mean, no. Yes, there is. Yes,
not
there
like
is.
There's not a community.
There's
like
not U2 cover groups.
And you know what? I don't know. I'm not picking on them because they might very well have
that was just
great
an example.
Following. Yeah, but what I mean is that it's no matter what band it is, it's a really cool thing to see other bands pay tribute in their awesome, cool style to provide like hours and hours of music that we all love.
Well, and then you run into things that happen like Circles Around the Sun that they are not a Grateful Dead tribute band, but in my mind that is Grateful Dead music because it circles around the sun. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, and kind of how that formed and where it came from.
Yeah, you have to know the origin.
Yeah,
it's very steeped in it.
In my head.
Yeah.
But they're not covering Scarlet Begonias or something, instrumentally. They're doing their own thing that was born out of it in a way.
And that's a trip all by itself.
Yeah.
And that's, like, if you think about Jay and his musical journey, like, we heard a pretty good chunk of his history. And, like, coming from the world that he came from in Primus and all that stuff, it's... And now playing with Wolf Brothers and the Rooster Conspiracy and Golden Gate Wingmen, and it's been those. I don't know. Early Primus stuff is not Grateful Dead music in any way, shape, or form. It's a departure from that original stuff, and I love the fact that he is sprung on Jerry. I love that. Like that really made all of it sort of make even more sense, because falling in love with the music is one thing, and then hearing him when he said that Garcia is just as heavy as Coltrane. I never thought of it in those terms. You know what I mean? Like I never would have put that together in my head, but he's absolutely fucking right.
Oh yeah,
100%. So I never would have thought about it like that. So that having these conversations like that with these guys is awesome. And like we said in the beginning, it's because of Dennis and Skull and Roses that we got this interview. And in the Grateful Dead world, there's icons in the scene. There's John Kay and Dark Star Orchestra and the Circles Around the Sun guys and Melvin Seals, and I could go on. And we've had the opportunity to speak with a good chunk of them now. And I just love the fact that everybody is in it because they love the music. I haven't heard anybody said, this is the best paying gig I ever had, and I'm so stoked because I'm making tons of money. You know, that's not what this has ever been about for any of them. It's the love of the music.
That'd be a funny voice to do it into.
What?
I like the way you said that. I'm in it to make tons of money.
Well,
that's like a car salesman or something.
Apple.
Yeah, that's not going to come out very good on stage.
You look so baked, dude.
I do. It's hard to keep my eyes.
You've
open.
got like huge bags under your eyes.
Ryder said the same. Ryder said the same thing. He's like, I'm not really tired. I just can't keep my fucking eyes open.
And as we're continuing
heavy.
this intro, the two of Mel's coming on to an edible, and Apple's
I'm
still the two
I'm
of them
still
are like,
in my right mind.
Mel looks completely coherent. Still.
Yeah, I haven't even puffed on anything.
not even one hit.
Not one.
Yeah, I haven't smoked any. I have not smoked anything today because I'm like afraid to. That's gonna put me out for the day.
You heard it here first, folks. Apple's afraid to smoke weed today. Well, you guys, like we said in the beginning of the episode, if you fast forward through the commercials, you should come hang out at Skull and Roses April 2nd through the 5th with the No Simple Road family and O'Teal and friends and Billy and the kids and
the beautiful ocean
and
Yeah.
Ventura
Ocean's
and
very
all
nice.
the stuff, you guys. So you can go to nosimpleroad.com and there's a ticketing link there. You can go to skullandroses.com and get your tickets over there. Follow No Simple Road on all the social media platforms at No Simple Road. Head over to the website and check out the merch and the family tab. Sign up for the newsletter. Do the Reddit thing.
Reddit.
If you have a really cool story or you just want to tell us hi, you can call 971-808-1524. That's our tepid line. And you can leave a voicemail. We'll play it on the show. And I'm going to ask you guys something right now. You ready?
What?
First off, thank you to everybody that's left a review for No Simple Road over the past 2.5 years. You guys are awesome.
Yay!
And all the rest of y'all, the rest of y'all.
We need a
Please do
February
it.
one.
Yeah,
I was gonna
man.
say, me and Mel just both went to. We were both looking to see if there's a new review, and there's not.
Aww.
We see the last ones, and that makes us happy. But
Yeah.
we don't see a new. We just looked at each other like,
We're going to start reading them from the beginning again.
Well, you know what you can do, you guys, to alleviate that sadness.
That
that's-
little, oh,
wait, but
What?
What?
Wait, you can go on the Apple Podcast app and you can leave us a 5-star review. You don't even have to type anything. You just click the 5 stars and on your way you go. That helps No Simple Road in the charts, and it also helps more people find out about the show. And I want to say
let Apple say what he was going to say.
I think we have a new Patreon.
Yeah, that's what I was
subscriber.
going to say.
Woo!
A very special thank you to Luke S.,
Luke S.
Sam S.'s brother
Luke S.
from here in Portland.
Yeah, we love Luke and
Oh
Sam.
my God.
Yeah. You guys,
And we missed
Luke
it. I
S.
what did you miss?
weren't they supposed to, what was the last show we went to? They were
No.
We missed you guys.
We didn't miss them at that show. Oh,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah, we
we
did.
did. At
Yes,
Mike
we
Gordon,
did.
they were on the
they were
21
other
and over
side.
side.
We were on the kids side.
We
Like,
were,
If you guys want to support No Simple Road monetarily,
That's
like Luke
rad.
S.,
Yeah, Luke.
go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. Listen, man, you're getting 8 shows a month, 8 of them, not
Yeah.
4, 8. We doubled up on y'all. So
Yeah, we
if
did.
you listen every week, come on, man, $1 a month, patreon.com/No Simple Road. That's all I have to say about that. Thanks, Luke.
And congratulations to Colin because he was talking about his.
Colin Francessetto,
Yes, Colin Francessetto of
The Cosmic Nod, and
Circa Survive.
there it is. I was letting you. I didn't want to step on
No,
you.
I know. But I just wanted to say shout out and congratulations to his successful Patreon. And that's super rad that people out there are supporting what they love.
You know, that's the thing that I watched Colin's video, and the thing that I took away from his Patreon video was, if you are a consumer of podcasts and that is what you do to entertain yourself, then you should be supporting the creators you should be supporting the creators of that content if you want them to continue doing it. because it
Yeah,
costs
if you wanna
money to do the
continue,
thing.
If you wanted there to be the possibility of being more
Yeah.
episodes, like we, doubling up.
Then
and
it's up
doing
to us as a
eights.
community to come together and do the thing. We're doing the work and putting out the shows, so we're asking the community to lend a hand with $1 a month or whatever, and that's their end of the bargain. So I really appreciated hearing Colin say that because it put it into a new perspective in my head. I never quite thought about it like that. So thanks, Colin. And if you haven't checked out The Cosmic Nod, you should check out his podcast too. Anyway, guys, we're going to get you to the interview with Jay Lane. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Apple,
I'm
you
ready.
really look
Apple's
ready.
been ready.
Mel, you look ready.
I'm ready.
You got your posture all straight.
Yeah.
Mel's like chill
Am I?
ready. Mel's, yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Bring it on.
So adjust your headphones and get yourself something, I don't know, cold or warm to drink, depending on the weather where you're
Yeah,
at.
nice beverage.
I'm having some nice warm water right now. Thanks, babe.
I'm having iced tea as usual.
As usual. They all know about your cup, Apple. So without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you the one, the only,
Jay Lane.
No yawning in the microphone, man. What's wrong with you? Wake up.
That's a wake up yawn.
Oh,
It's not
okay.
tired
Good
yawn.
morning,
I'm
Apple.
Still waking up.
Hi, Mel.
Hi.
What are you doing?
I was drawing a rat.
Why are you drawing a rat?
For rat dog.
Rat dog. How do you draw a Primus?
I haven't figured that one out yet.
You haven't figured out how to draw a Primus?
Not yet.
Let's
Prime ass.
let's like a first place donkey.
No, like an ass shape with like ribs. Like the
prime
prime.
ass, or really
Prime
nice.
ass.
Okay, all right. Well, we tried, Jay. We gave it a shot. Let's call Jay. What do you guys say? Hey, that rhymed. Check it out. Look at me.
Dismay, sit by the bay, mold things out of clay.
That's funny, Apple. The phone's ringing.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
No.
Jay, are you there?
Hey, brother.
What's happening, man?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. This is Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Good to
I
meet
gotta
you.
apologize. My voice is a little gone.
That's okay.
Coughing for like a month. I don't know if I got the coronavirus or what.
Oh shit!
Well, then we're glad that we can talk to you before
it's all
anything
over,
happens.
man. Yeah.
Oh, I got a whole bunch of y'all on here.
Yeah, there's 3 of us here, man. Everybody do their thing.
Jay, this is Mel, and I'm one of the hosts of No Simple Road. So thanks for joining us with the voice that you have left.
And then you got
Are
Apple.
we on the? Are we live?
No, we're record. It's recorded, and we can edit out whatever you want if you want anything pulled
No,
out.
yeah, all good.
Okay.
Yeah, man. You guys watch Bernie?
No. Oh no.
No.
You know
He's
what?
doing a town hall. There's the Bernie town hall.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's
Anyway.
dude. He's killing it. He is killing it. I'll give him that.
Well, then
Yeah.
you got the third host here. This is Apple, and thank you so much for joining us, Jay. I've
Oh, right on, man.
followed your long,
Yeah.
illustrious career for a long time here. You are one of the
Oh,
busiest
lovely,
drummers in the
lovely.
biz.
Wait, where are you guys located?
Portland, Oregon.
Oh shit! I don't think we're coming there on this Wolf
Oh,
Bros
no.
tour, are we?
No, you came
Are we?
one tour ago, and we were there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, hopefully I'll be getting up there soon. I've been playing with John Kadlicek a lot, and
That's one of my favorite people I've ever spoken to.
yeah. Well, unfortunately, he just broke up with his lady Meg, who lives up by there.
Oh shit.
But they, yeah, he's happy or whatever. I mean, I'm sure she's happy or whatever. They were in that van together a lot, driving around the
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
got to be fucking
that's
tough,
true.
man. That's got to
Yeah,
be
we-
hard for anybody.
They were doing a lot of driving together. But anyway, she's up in Port Orford, and we've been thinking about driving up and checking her out.
You
My
know,
wife and I, just
Oh,
visit and stuff.
cool.
It-
We'd love to
But,
have you.
hell yeah, man. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful place.
Yeah, man. I was in Portland a little bit. I had my daughter. She was at PSU for a little while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but she came back home, and then now, of course, she's up in Brooklyn. She's in New York. She's going to art school out there, so
Another
she's
artist.
happy. But yeah, I really like Portland, man. It's a beautiful city.
Where are you at, Jay?
I'm in San Francisco.
Of course.
I'm one of the holdouts, man. I'm like one of the last. of the old school. I'm like the local in the college town.
Yeah,
Like
it's crazy.
with all the techie people that have taken over my
So is it just
neighborhood
because
here.
it's
I'm
home?
like the old guy. What's that?
I said, is it just because it's home then that you're still there?
Well, yeah. Well, long story. My mom had passed away in 2010, but she was 99 years old when she passed away. She adopted me in
What?
65 when she was 55 years old.
Wow.
And yeah, she was one of the pioneers of early childhood education. She founded Head Start and all this. She's like one of the
Oh wow.
taught at NYU. She's like up there high in the early childhood education echelon. But she, my wife and I, we moved in with her to take care of her as she was getting older, and we just kind of didn't stay in here. And then when she passed away, we thought it'd be smart to hold on to the house and let it increase in value. And in the last 10 years, it actually doubled in value. So it was a pretty good move.
Damn.
So,
Nice move.
but this year, we're about to do something with this place and get out of here. But yeah, I raised my daughters in here. I got one still here, one out of the house. But
we're in the same.
yeah.
We're in the same position, man. We raised 2 kids. We have one that's living in California. She's a model and an actress, and then we have our son here that's getting ready to graduate from high school. So I know how you feel. It's a weird feeling of like having been parents and having kids in the house, and then being faced with the reality of like, holy shit, we're gonna have our whole life back, and the house is gonna be empty. It's fucking weird.
I know. I thought we were empty nesters, but yeah, my oldest daughter came back.
Nest was too comfortable.
Yeah,
It was really short-lived, huh?
yeah, but yeah, something's going to happen this year, and thank God for Bob Weir for
Dude.
calling me up the last 3 years, because my income has been a lot better in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, good for you, man. Congratulations. That's awesome to hear.
I got to tell you something. We had the pleasure, and a lot of times when we talk to musicians, they're like, "Oh man, bro, I don't remember what city I was in, but we had the pleasure of catching you. We're from Vegas originally. We moved up here 4 years ago, but we caught you playing with Rat Dog at the Pearl in Las Vegas the night that Bobby was sick." And they came out and announced, we'll give money back, but we're going to go on with the show, and Jay's going to take over on vocals. And you killed it, dude.
What?
Oh, thank you. You know what? That means a lot. It really means a lot.
Dude.
How lame I felt that night? It was like, well, because look at it this way. It's like, here you got a band of 6 guys. So you take Bob Weir out of the equation, and there wasn't one fucking guy that could sing a song. So they were like, hey, man, there's a bunch of people out there. Why don't you guys go jam? And I was like, nah, man, we're not going to go jam. Nobody wants to hear us jam. They want to hear some Grateful Dead, bro. So, all right, give me the damn book. I'll do it. Like, nobody else could do it, And I could barely do it. But
you nailed it, bro.
Oh, but thank you. I just knew what people wanted to hear. I got to give the people what they want. The funny thing was the promoter of that club, he was really loving me that night, calling me Levon and all this shit. Forget the guy's name. It was it'll come to me. The guy who promoted that gig. He promotes a few gigs in that Southwest kind of Midwest region. Danny Zalesko, or Zalesko is his name.
Okay.
But he was so happy that I stepped up like that. And but it's, the funny thing is,
what?
I always kind of wondered, like, I wonder how many people asked for their money back. You know what I mean? 'Cause, I bet a lot of people went and got their money back. I was like, well, maybe somebody fucking didn't.
We didn't.
I say, yeah, we didn't
We
care.
didn't.
We had a blast.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I hadn't had too much experience with any live Dead stuff.
At that point.
That was my
that's
first
cool.
introduction, and I
Wow.
was floored,
Bro,
man. I was floored.
Check this out.
I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
So many of us didn't know any better. We were there. So like you feeling like that, it's kind of even more awesome because you weren't even trying.
Yeah.
You just stepped up to the plate and you not even gave people what they wanted. It was like what we needed.
Okay, and then we did a few tunes, and they were like, I saw, cats were doing the finger across the neck, like, hey, that's good enough. That's good enough. I was like, hell no, that's not good enough. No, we ended up playing for a couple hours.
Yeah.
I remember that. It was like, no. We got to keep this shit going here, man. We got the natives are restless.
Fuck yeah. Jay, check this out. So my first show was in 89, and I have a nephew that actually lives with us now. And I had been building up the Grateful Dead to this kid ever since he'd been born.
And Sydney.
And my daughter too. That was so we set up this whole night. We get a VIP booth up in the corner, and we're all tripping and we're ready for the show to start, and it's not starting. And I'm like, what the fuck? But you could feel something was up in the crowd. Like you could kind of feel what was going on. I saw all the roadies like in a cluster backstage. I was like, oh shit, something's going on.
And that's when the murmuring starts in the crowd. Like everybody starts speculating.
But then you guys, they said you guys were going to play, and my nephew was like, what does this mean? I was like, I don't know. I've never fucking seen this happen before. And when that show was over, his mind was blown, dude. And my daughter too.
All of our minds were blown. It was it was a full family affair.
Remember you guys did Dear Prudence, towards the end, and that was beautiful.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, man.
Right on. Well, yeah, I've been boning up. I've been boning up, sitting here practicing with my drums, listening to Jerry, getting ready for some more Grateful Dead music. You know, it's interesting. When I met Bob Weir, because of Rob Wasserman brought me up to his house for a musical. They were working on they were doing a musical about Satchel Paige, the old black baseball player that never saw the light of day. But it was how I was introduced to Bob, and I came up there to record. And I'm telling you, man, the reason why he wanted me, probably just like he wanted Rob, because we didn't know anything pretty much at all about the Grateful Dead. Right. And had I went up there like I look now with fucking long hair, tie-dye, Birkenstock, he would have been like, hell no. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it was because I came up with a shaved head and some fucking Nike Air Jordans, and, you know, I was all city kid and shit, and he was like, oh, perfect. You know? I can
do something with this.
Yeah, exactly. I think he really wanted, I mean, imagine this guy has all these years, deadheads everywhere he goes. Right. Like, anytime he meets somebody that's not, he probably really feels like he could turn them on. You know, I'm going to turn this guy on.
Yeah, that's how we feel.
And his method of turning us on was so unlike what you would think. You know, he didn't say, hey, immerse yourself in this stuff and learn this, learn that. He was just like, no, man, don't listen to that shit. Just do what you want. You know, so for years and years and years, that's what I did. And, you know, some of it was good. Some of it wasn't really what people wanted to hear. But, you know, the thing was, and Jerry died pretty much early into it. Right. And then, you know, what was interesting, I didn't realize 3 years later, is Rat Dog wasn't really a band for the fans. It was a coping mechanism for Bob. Oh, shit. You know, it's like that was a band for him to fucking
deal with the grief.
You know, it was like this, so it wasn't like you know, like some of the other guys was like, let me put together something that's going to really knock them home. I'm going to get the top-notch guys, the baddest dudes in the scene, guys who know all this shit, like, you know, this like the perfect guys that the fans would love. He didn't think about that at all. He was like, no, let's get a saxophone. You know, like, what?
Yeah,
you
right.
know what I mean? Like some shit that people are like, what the hell?
What the fuck?
You know? So I think, you know, that's the beauty of it in a lot of ways. And I always have to remember that, because I did, after a few years, I became a born-again deadhead myself. And then I turned into a dick and started trying to tell the other guys what to do. Hey, man, play it like this. And, you know,
that's and then I checked
myself, too. You know, I had to like, okay, I'm getting into it now, but let's just, you know, let me, you know, let it be what's going to be. But I got to tell you, man, I knew, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but I'll tell you right now, I knew I was giving a lot of myself to Bob personally and to the music that I felt like some of the other guys weren't,
Right.
And so I was really vindicated when he called me back to do this. It's like he didn't get Rat Dog back. He almost got like another Rob Wasserman, and then me again.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm really, really blessed that he called me up. But I just knew because like all those years, like we spent a lot of time in the daytime together working out and stuff. And so we go to the gym. We fucking get in a cab and go to the YMCA. Some funky old man YMCA too in some of these towns, just to go sit in the steam room so he can get his voice going. And I was his buddy to do all that stuff. The only one, like nobody else was coming out, and so I just knew that I gave a lot of myself to the thing, and I didn't expect him to keep it going forever. And in fact, I knew that it could end at any time.
Right.
So I was just lucky to have it for what it was worth. But like I said, I'm really happy that he ended up calling me again to play, and and also the fact that it's it's Bob's style. I'm just going to jump topics here.
No, do
but
your
Bob's
thing, man.
style has always been kind of like poking in and out of the music. Like you got Jerry, you got piano and Phil, or like all this other stuff going on, and Bob's always had a style that kind of complemented everybody else and kind of fit in the cracks here and there. But when you take those guys away and then you replace them by guys that are kind of playing behind Bob, and it was kind of weird. It was like you got this puzzle piece of the Grateful Dead that's kind of out there, all angular, all by itself, and it's but the cool thing about it is that so in a lot of situations, people want to fill in those other puzzle pieces, but Bob, and that it doesn't necessarily want there to be a fill in the hole there. So, like on this Wolf Bros thing, he'll sing a verse, sing a chorus, and here comes the part where somebody else usually steps up and gets all the woohoo soloing and whatever. He's like, oh shit, look to the right of me, look to the left of me. It's me.
It's me.
It's like, oh, it's my turn to solo. It's like, and he starts playing shit that he would have never played. It's really trippy, man, to hear him fill in the holes.
It's giving him space to do something he's never done before, because I would think it'd be
like
easy
I
to
said,
step
it's
on.
so easy to step on him as a player because he doesn't hold out the long notes. He goes splink, splunk, splink,
Right.
and it's so easy to get your shit in between all those notes and fill in where Jerry would have filled in, or the rest of the music would have filled in. But to have there be space and holes and silence between the notes, is kind of really
it's beautiful.
It's a really cool sound, man, and it's emboldened Bob too. Made him feel like he's the shit. He's not just the backup guy doing all the heavy lifting.
Well, do you said something that I want to ask about? Like you said, I feel like I gave myself so much of myself to this thing. Do you feel like it's a fair exchange at this point, bro?
What do you mean?
Like do you think that do you feel like it's given back to you what you've given to it? Yeah.
Oh man, even like so much more fold.
Right.
Because now I've actually gone back and like listened to a lot of Grateful Dead and like listened to a lot of Jerry and like I'm hearing a lot of juice there, man. In fact,
oh dude,
I hate to say it, but of all these people that play Grateful Dead, there's always Grateful Dead cover. When Rat Dog started, there was like one or two Grateful Dead touring cover bands.
Yeah, like Dark Star.
There was no jam band scene. Dark Star started in '95 after Rat Dog.
Okay.
So it's like there were hardly any other. I mean, there were local people playing at clubs and stuff, but of the touring bands playing Grateful Dead, look how many there are now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it, sometimes it could get a little overwhelming. It's like, oh, look at all these Jerry guys. You got John Cadlick, you got Stu Allen, you got fucking Zach Nugent, you got fucking all these guys who've got their different take on it and everything. And everybody's great. But, man, I'll tell you, man, when I listen to Jerry, it's like I still hear shit that I don't hear none of them dudes doing, you know?
There's magic there that doesn't exist anywhere else away from it. And I wonder for you, dude, like, you were already in it before you got it, is air quote, got it. Like, what was the thing? What tripped your switch, finally?
I think, to be honest with you, I think it might have been when I started listening to what Jerry was doing in the music,
dude,
and listen to his style that was very complimentary. And you know, I mean, I didn't know the guy at all, but like I could just imagine, like, here's a guy for all intents and purposes could have called it, and today it would have been called Jerry Garcia and whatever, and Friends, and the Grateful Dead, and Rat Dog, and blah, 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 whatever. But he didn't do that. He insisted on it was a band. It wasn't about him, even though it was clearly all about him. Everybody's following him. But he took himself, he was all about taking him, from what I see, he was all about taking his ego out of it and being a supportive player. Like the way he kind of encouraged all the other guys to take chances and risks and do all that stuff. But, you know, come on, you think the guy dies and fucking these guys can't even get along and go play a gig together, you know? It's like everybody thinks they got the fucking answer, you know?
It's crazy.
He was clearly the glue.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you say you've never met him, but you hung out with his one of his best friends for years now. Like, I mean, you're steeped in that.
Oh, Weir, yeah.
You're steeped in that, in that, man.
Like you're saying too.
You know, I think I just like, you know, I've never been an ego player. I mean, I used to overplay, but I've never been somebody that makes it all about me or wants to hog the spotlight or anything like that. And I think maybe that's what Weir liked about me or something. But it was when I started really listening to what Jerry offered to the music, and like on a lot of songs that I had only heard Bob's part, and then I heard the other parts that Jerry played. I was like, oh man,
the missing
and
piece.
Even like songs like, you know, that I got to go back and listen to that shit, but you know, Healy recorded, I think one of their last tours, he recorded some board tapes on some ADATs.
Okay.
And there's like a thing circulating out there with John Cadlick, maybe a copy of it. I don't know how many people have it, but it's like some of their later songs, like Karina, Easy Answers.
Is it studio stuff?
No, it was live.
Okay.
But it was a board tape. It was Healy recorded it, and it was probably like one of their last tours. I think he compiled his best versions of the newer songs. I think So Many Roads, Days Between,
Black Muddy River.
Black Muddy River, I think, was on there. It was like all the later tunes, Liberty.
Okay.
And like when I heard, after playing like Karina and Easy Answers and stuff like that for years and years and years, all of a sudden I heard that. I was like, listen to what Jerry was doing on that shit. Oh my God. It's the simplest little shit, but it totally made it, you know?
Right. There's
like Easy Answers. Easy Answers goes dum, 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 right? It's like, and so it always used to drive me a little fucking nuts that you got this fucking half note, basically half a bar of silence after the first note. Dum. Like, so I always had to fill in that. I mean, it was just me. It was like the whole band went bump, dun, 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 dun. But Jerry had a part in there. He went so. I was like, oh my God, listen to that.
Yeah,
that just turned it into
right
funk.
There. So yeah, so and the more I started listening to that shit, I was like, oh man, Jerry was the shit.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
You're in good company here, man. Yeah, it blew my mind. Like I was one of those kids in the 80s that was listening to Primus and Dead
cool.
and you know, and the Misfits and punk rock and shit.
Yeah.
And my first Grateful Dead show completely blew my socks off, man. I saw him,
Wow.
and I felt what was going on there, and it did me in. I mean,
it flipped his wig, and my Aaron was very into punk. I was very metalhead. I'm 50 now.
Right.
He's 48. He went to the Grateful Dead in '89, and I thought I lost my best friend. Because he comes back, he's like, dude, this shit we're listening to, and I'm like, whatever, man. And it took him about a year. It took him about a year and a half to get me to go. I walk in '91 and the Silver Bowl in Vegas to the Dead show, and I'm like, oh my God, all these hippies, fucking patchouli.
Right.
I hate this
Dude.
shit. And then I walked out of there just sprung like, oh my God, I'm in love with all these hippie girls. I like hairy armpits and patchouli, and it does something that nobody has that. I mean, the impact they've made. We're getting ready to go to a 4-day festival to Skull and Roses in April, a 4-day festival dedicated to nothing but like cover
Grateful
bands
Dead
and
music.
Dead music.
You can't do that with another band.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Right. Yeah, man. I remember. I mean, I grew up in the city, so I think growing up in the city, I didn't see a lot of Grateful Dead. Not a lot of my friends were in the Grateful Dead. Like, I had one buddy who liked them. The only thing I knew, when I guess with the Warfield Theater downtown, I would go downtown. I'd see them lining up to go see Jerry Band or whatever down there, and they were just look like the dirtiest motherfuckers. I was like, hell no, I'm never going near that
Fuck
shit.
that shit. Yeah.
But
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
But like I was in funk bands and all that shit, and then I was in Primus back in 1988 before they made it. And but yeah, honestly, man, if it weren't for Les Claypool calling me up, I would have never been here right now talking to you guys.
That's a fucking trip, man. And
so I'm curious about that. I mean, I could have looked at it. I've loved Primus, Les Claypool. So you basically started like on the Sizzle Fry, like the very first
Frizzle
stuff,
Fry.
or Frizzle Fry.
No, it was before they did any CDs. It was
okay. And then you came back and joined them for a little.
Yeah, well, I came back in 2010.
Okay.
I left Furthur, but then Les Claypool called up and said, "Hey, you want to be in Primus?" I was like, "Well, it's kind of a no-brainer."
Yeah.
Any fucking red-blooded American drummer would say yes to that.
Yes, sir, please.
It's a great problem to have, one great gig or another, but, I had to, and Bob was a little upset because I know he had gone to bat for me to be in that band, but I wasn't quitting Rat Dog. Rat Dog was over, and this was some other shit, where Bob wasn't even really in charge of anything.
Yeah.
Anyway,
how did the whole Wolf Brothers thing come about? I mean, that kind of came out of the blue for us.
Here's what I think's going on. I think, Bob has always been enamored with the Hollywood music thing. Even back when the Arista tried to put out the Heaven Help the Fool and make him like a star back in '78 or whatever.
Right.
And he's never been really able to crack that market. I think so. So I think a bit about Don Was being a celebrity in the Hollywood music scene kind of lights up Bob, like he's got this new management now. It's got him like a clothing line thing, in a band with John Mayer. He likes the limelight, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why shouldn't he,
Yeah,
If any one of us would love that shit too.
Totally. But I think he's been enamored with the Hollywood music scene, and I think on the inverse, I think Don Was is probably like, he's probably seeing that shit fucking get smaller and smaller. He sees this Grateful Dead shit like never ending. He's like, hey. So I think both of them wanted to play with each other. And then thank God Bob called me up because he was probably thinking, well, as cool as it is playing with this guy Don Was, he doesn't know any songs. And I'm not going to about to teach him and the drummer all these songs.
Oh,
so
shit, yeah.
I think it's Jay because he knows all the shit.
And you'll go to the gym with him.
And I'll go to the gym with him and all that stuff.
And me and Mel didn't. You didn't make that show, Mel.
No, it was just a dude.
We made it to Wolf Brothers up here, and like I said, I've seen you many times play with many different bands that you do and stuff. And me and Aaron were looking at each other. We're like, oh my god. We've never seen you play so slow.
It
so
gentle.
So and playing gentle. It was like, oh my god, is that really Jay? And we're like, yeah, that's
right,
Jay.
No, I know. That's why I think Bob called me, because I give him what he wants. You know, if he wants it slow and gentle, sometimes it's just too slow. But hey, that's where he wants it. That's where he wants it.
That's where it's going to be. Fuck it. Yeah.
But I have a new. I've got them all lit up now, because now I'm playing electronic drums. And if I could beat the shit out of them, you can't even hear them right in front, right there on the stage. So I'm going to be back to hitting real hard. It's going to be great.
So check this out, Jay. Like, you have a unique perspective on this whole thing because, well, for a couple of reasons. First of all, because you came from outside of it, and then were like steeped in it, and then now you are in it and part of the whole tribe of it. Like, what do you think it is? Like I said before, there's no other band that I can think of that you could bust out a 4-day festival and people are going to come. What do you think it is with that Grateful Dead songbook that makes that thing possible, that makes a million Grateful Dead cover bands and legions of people following it year for 50 plus years, and you getting sprung on it and me getting sprung on it
25 years after Jerry's gone.
I think a lot of it is Robert Hunter's lyrics, you know, and Jerry Garcia's and Bob's writing, and you know, Barlow too. Right. But like, you know, I think a lot of it is these songs, man, and that's what's funny about some of these festivals. We'll be sitting backstage to play at one of these festivals, and we'll hear band after band do like the same song, and that's a definite no-no. It's a lot of, but it don't even matter in this scene. Is like everybody's playing Birdsong. Okay, now the next band's playing Birdsong. Like, people just want to hear that shit. They don't care.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? It's like you could hear it 100 times a day. It's because there's so much meat there. They're great songs. I mean, these are fucking great songs.
Right.
And
right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd like to say the whole acid mentality kind of it kind of saturated the whole vibe where it's like a really it's deep, you know. This shit is not shallow, you know. It's like nobody was in there just to make money, you know. It's like on the inside of it, like, you know, like Jerry was seriously doing it for the love of it, and
yes.
Here's a band that did it, and they spanned decades of, like, they went through the 60s Dead, to the 70s Dead, to the 80s Dead, to the 90s Dead. Each one was different, but, you know, and they took these great songs with them the whole time, and it's just like, it's amazing, man. It's like mycelium, of a network of mycelium that's grown under the entire country,
mm-hmm.
that pops out on little mushrooms here and there, but the mycelium network is like completely under the whole thing, you know?
Yeah, and when
it's strong, it's stronger than ever.
That's what I was just going to say.
There's just more, and so it has created. I think it pushed so many musicians. It gave them a foundation to work with, a platform, and it has pushed them beyond what they could have ever been without that existing in this world. And it's magic.
Even Les Claypool himself tries to do jam band music now. Like, his thing is Sean Lennon, he does now. They try to jam and get all trippy.
Oh yeah, that's so fucking awesome. Delirium.
Back in 2000, I think he saw. He was like, "Oh man, there's a crowd here. I'm getting fucking trippy." But, you know, the funny thing is, even back in '88, like Claypool, we would take acid all the time. We could take acid and go to Costco and shit. Go shopping.
That's so scary.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, he's always been his own little kind of Captain Trips. You know, he's definitely the leader, the driver of the boat wherever he's going. But he's a pretty fun guy to take acid with a lot. But you know,
you've done a lot with it. You played in Sausage, the Frog Brigade.
Yeah,
Primus.
we just did a New Year's show, actually. Sausage opened up for the Delirium.
Oh, shit, really?
Warfield, of all places. Yeah, just for New Year's. It was great.
Talk about
and
full
it was
circle.
Sausage is the original guitar player for Primus. Todd Huth, the guy who wrote all the cool guitar parts.
Those
Has
parts
the
are
queer
insane.
quirky
Oh my God. Dude.
Yeah,
That
dude,
stuff is crazy.
It's amazing, man. He's really unique. And, yeah, I'm hoping Claypool wants to do some more shit this year because I know there's going to be Dead & Co. happening after this Wolf Bros thing. So Bob's probably going to be busy. You know, it might just be my one tour of the year.
So,
now Les is doing the what is it, the jazz, the Bastard Jazz. He just did it on Jam Cruise.
Oh wow, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't know about that. What's that?
Les Claypool and Sean Lennon was with them. Skrillex, what's his name?
Skrillex.
Yeah, Skrillex.
Not Skrillex.
But yeah, they did. And there's some videos of it. They played on Jam Cruise, and that's what I'm wondering if that's going to take off too. I mean, everything he does takes off.
Yeah.
So Jay, what's up with Rooster Conspiracy, man?
I don't, but I think that's where I'm playing at the Golden Roses with that.
Yeah,
Oh,
so that's you and Reed and Krasno. And who else?
Wow, what a lineup!
And Stoof?
I don't know who the last.
I can't remember who's.
By the way, Reed is we met him at High Sierra Festival a few years ago and sat with him for quite a while. Did an interview with him. We all ended up in tears, including him. He is an amazing human being. He is like a professor of music.
That's the prophet. Yeah, Prophet Reed.
Dude, his knowledge of classical music and jazz is like just ridiculous.
It's deeper than anybody I've ever met.
We definitely had a little bromance there for a while.
That's a good bromance.
I was going to say, I understand that.
So,
yeah.
When you were a kid, did you? I mean, I think I read that you started playing drums when you were like 9, right?
Yeah, my mom saw that I needed something to do with myself, so I think she took me around just to see if I was going to take to any instrument. And there was like one day she took me around and she had mapped out a few places on the Yellow Pages and took me around. And the last place we ended up was this guy's little personal studio where he taught drums and stuff. And I was like, yes, this is what I want. So she paid for me to take lessons for, about a year or so. And then I stopped taking lessons, but I had the drum set in my room at that point. And so I used to just jam along with the stereo. And then I remember like the first time, I think it was junior high school or high school, I brought my drums over to a friend's house and tried to jam, and I was like weird. I remember, oh, wow, playing with somebody else, that's weird.
That is weird.
With a stereo. But and then I was in the band in junior high school. In high school they wiped out the music and arts out of the fucking the funding for the music and arts in 1980. They gutted the art program and music in the city. But I had been going to this summer camp as well, Cazadero Music Camp, up in the Russian River up here. That there was a few people up there. Whoopi Goldberg was up there before she got famous.
What?
She was a counselor. Bobby McFerrin, Mr. Don't Worry, Be Happy. Before he got famous.
Really?
And there was a lot of jazz. There was like these older jazz guys up there. So I met a lot of friends, a lot of kids who lived in Berkeley. And then when I came back, I went to Berkeley College of Music, not to be confused with the city of Berkeley, but Berkeley College of Music in Boston. I went there until Christmas, from fall of '83 until Christmas break. I came home. I was like, I'm not going back there. And I joined in a band with some of these kids from Berkeley called the Uptones. And it was a ska
band. Yeah. I know that.
Yeah,
I've heard that name.
Yeah. And they were pretty popular in the Bay Area. And then I remember where our manager said, hey, look at your competition. These kids from fucking LA, Fishbone. It was like their first album.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And it was like, so anyway, so played a few gigs with them. Then I joined this other, I ended up quitting them and joined this other band that was in the same scene up here called the Freaky Executives. It was like also a ska band.
That's a
great name.
World beat and funk. And it's a damn shame that band never took off. But, a lot of the kids were like, the kids in that band were a little rougher. Like the Uptones with some kids who were like still living at home. And, the freak executives were like kids on the street kind of
Yeah,
shit.
they're
Like
sleeping on floors.
yeah, so it was like, but they were getting paid. Like the Uptones were all living at home, so the manager was taking all the money.
Shit.
And they didn't smoke weed. So then when I joined the freak executives, they smoked weed all day and they got paid. I was like, I want to be in this band.
I like this band. So, I'll take it.
Option B.
So yeah, so I was in that band for a few years, and then we used to rehearse at this place in Emeryville where a bunch of bands rehearsed, and Claypool was, I didn't even know his last name. That dude left. He rehearsed around the corner. And Primus was just rehearsing. They hardly did any gigs. He was the most rehearsing rehearsal studio and hanging out in the rehearsal studio and all that. So yeah, Les asked me to fucking come jam one day, and I was like, "Yeah, you got any weed or anything?" Like, you literally had to use a carrot to fucking with weed just to get me over there to jam, and not much has changed actually.
Yeah, right.
But,
we got a bunch of weed up here if you want to come hang out. By the way, I'm just
and look where it's gotten you, man.
I was gonna say, when you come up here, I'm in the cannabis industry, man. I'll make sure you're hooked up.
Oh, nice. Yeah, nice. All right, yeah, I'll take you up on
that. I was going to say, sweeten in the pot there.
You
like,
should.
Come up and I'll give you good weed,
yeah,
Jay.
you should.
But when you hear Claypool playing like that around the corner from you, do you even know what you're hearing at that point? Like, that was unique.
I gotta be honest. At that time, there was no Claypool on stage. It was just, he didn't do his duck walk or his little fucking hand in his hair little thing. Those little things he does on stage. Everybody knows, laugh. Mm-hmm. Like, he was a dude in a room, and he wasn't doing a lot of thumping and all that thumbing stuff. In fact, some of it was that, but most of it was like hammer-on stuff. I kind of equated them more to like King Crimson kind of thing. It was literally two nerdy dudes in a room, and it was like nerd rock, So like most of the jamming we did was just in that room, and then we recorded a demo tape, five of their classic songs there, and it was just cassette tape.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I never did any CD recorded. They after I was out of the band, they got a new guitar player, a new drummer, and they released their first Stuck on This. I think it was their first CD.
I remember that. I remember when that came
out.
Yep.
But honestly, it was so different, man. It was just like, it was just that dude left, and he's like, "Come on, Jay, I got weed." Okay, all right, go jam. So it wasn't, and like, it's like, dude, it's like same thing with Whoopi Goldberg and Bobby McFerrin up at They Can. The last people you ever think in the world is going to get over, those people fucking get famous. It was really weird. It's been really, really bizarre that those three people that I know, I really know, but like that the last people I ever, I remember when we looked into, I was working at the summer camp between sessions. I was like sanitation crew, and we were looking on the list to see the names of the people coming up for the next session. I remember seeing that name Whoopi. I was like, oh man, these fucking Berkeley people.
Who the fuck is this?
Who's Whoopi?
Whoopi.
And she ended up being really cool though, but like I never thought she'd be famous, It was funny. She had a husband at the time, this guy David Goldberg. I don't know what happened to him, but that was her husband at the time. And he had us rolling at some of these campfires, man, like one-liners and jokes. Fucking, he had some jokes, that guy. I wonder whatever happened to that guy.
I mean, did you ever think that you'd be fucking famous? Was that in your head?
Well, no, not at all. But I like that you say that. And I sometimes when I'm hanging out with my buddies, we were hanging out watching the 49ers the other day, and I was realizing here's musicians that I hung out with ever since we were all just on the street or fucking around, and here it is. They still work day jobs or drive Ubers and shit. I get to go on tour, and I consider myself very lucky in that standpoint. It's like, instead of just thinking I'm famous, it's wow, I'm really
blessed,
really fortunate to have just met this guy, met that guy, been here on time at the right time, and with the right attitude, and
that's awesome.
That's all.
Some of my buddies actually, I have some buddies that their dad was a jazz musician, and I think as talented as these guys are, I think there was always something stopping them. There was something that made them think they had to always have a day job. And a lot of people were like that. It's like,
Gotta have a
you can
backup
follow
plan.
Well, you follow your dreams, yeah, but man, come on, you got to have a fucking day job. So, and then you get older and older, and somebody asks you to quit your job and go on tour. You're like, nah, you know what I mean?
Well, and if you got a day job, you can't give it 100%.
I don't know, man. Try me.
Yeah.
Ask me.
Yeah.
We'll see if I don't quit tomorrow. I fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. That's how I've always been. That's how I always been. I was like, great, I'll quit my job for one gig or a rehearsal. I quit. Like fuck it. But like I said, like some of the guys, and these guys are really talented too. Like, and in fact, I remember when Rob Wasserman left Rat Dog, I tried to get my Dre the gig on bass, and I remember he just couldn't let go of his day gig. It's like, even though I was offering him a great fucking opportunity, he's like, well, it's not my favorite music either. It's like, wow, it's like, for me, it would have been anything it took to fucking, I'll play klezmer music. Let's go on the road. Fuck, I don't care,
Harpsichord.
Whatever it is, a polka. Come on, let's do it. Like,
right.
It's like, for me, it was just like an opportunity to live a dream and go on tour and play your instrument in front of a crowd of people. And it's like, luckily for me, Grateful Dead ended up being something that's so fun that fucking do. It's not like I did it and now I fucking hate what I'm doing, but I still like that I'm doing it. You know what I mean? It's just
now I'm stuck doing this shit. Yeah. No.
Right. No, it's been one wonderful discovery after another. Kind of like, I'm happy how weed, my drug of choice, ended up being like good for you now.
Right.
Yes.
Like,
it's medicine.
I win.
Told
it's
you,
fucking
like,
medicine.
Weed, if they had told you weed gives you cancer and it's bad for you, it'll kill you, like they told you back in the 80s, shit, that never bothered me. I was like, great, so what? I'm still smoking.
Right. I'm happy as hell.
Yeah. That's one thing that I respected respect about you, man. And it comes across in talking to you in dealing with Grateful Dead history and talking about the people of the Grateful Dead and the music and the vibe, and a lot of people have an idea of reverence around it, where like you don't talk about certain things, you don't say things like there's a almost religious aspect to it, and you've never come across like that. You're like, fuck it, I am who I am, and I fucking play this music and whatever. And I dig that, man. That's fucking refreshing and super cool, Jay.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I'm sure Gary didn't ever look at it like it was fucking precious and all religious.
Right.
You're just keeping it real.
I'm just keeping it real.
Right. So
I don't care. I'm just, like I said, I'm just really lucky to be here, and it's like, it could have gone the other way, and I'm glad it didn't. And
I'm glad it didn't too,
me
man.
too,
Yeah.
man. Fuck yeah.
Yes.
We've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of it, man.
Now I'm curious. We got to bring up one that hasn't been brought up in the mix here yet of an incredible other band you play, Golden Gate Wingmen.
Oh man, yeah, that's like, I love playing with Jeff, of course, for years. Like, we would always connect in Rat Dog and instrumentally and stuff. And then, like I said, the Reed with the bromance. And then, of course, I fell in love with John. John is such a funny cat, man. John is like, he's interesting because sometimes he's like, see, John used to be a coder. He used to be a programmer. So his brain, the way his brain works a lot of times is he's very analytical and like very factual.
Right.
Sometimes he forgets about the niceties that you got to fucking do. And so sometimes people get this picture in their head like he's some kind of dick or something. It's like, no, dude, he's already thought this through. Like, he knows the best way to do this. And
he's 3 steps ahead of your ass.
It's in his head. He's
3 steps ahead of your ass. And that's what, but sometimes he's not the most diplomatic. He doesn't have all the patience in the day to try to fucking explain some shit to your ass, Right. But I love him dearly, man. And like, I don't know if you heard about that whole debacle that happened in Gainesville where he got trashed on the internet, man. But the internet's a horrible place, man.
Oh yeah.
But
it is a horrible place.
so what happened was we were down there. We were driving down there. We had driven all the way down the coast, playing gigs, and we get to Gainesville, and this promoter put on an opening band without John's knowledge. You know, like John was doing all the everything except booking. He was managing the shit, spreadsheets, driving the fucking thing, you know, I mean, he's like
driving the van,
set back line, fucking doing everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So he was upset that there was an opening band, and the opening band had to pay to play. Like this promoter, you heard of pay to play, right? Like,
yeah.
You want to play this club? You sell fucking 50 tickets at $10 each, and you give me $500, then you can play my club.
Ugh.
You know, so that's really fucked up. So we were like, this promoter's an asshole. Anyway, whatever the deal was, he paid us I can't remember if we made like $100 for the whole band that night. It was fucked up. It was an insult, you know.
Right.
It was definitely fucked up. John was pissed. We were talking about it afterwards. And I was on Facebook. I was like, fuck this promoter and fuck Gainesville, fuck this club, the High Dive Bar, whatever. So John went into this long rant. You know, he kind of went on, and then he named the opening band by name.
Oh shit!
You know, and then so he got trounced on the internet because you know everybody's supposed to be kind and gentle.
Yeah.
This Grateful Dead scene. How you can be so harsh, bro? That's so unkind and shit. But you know what? It was fucked up, man, because John was holding up high the standard of the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like if you tell anybody, oh, just because you're some hippies wearing patchouli and you got a little jam band, oh, it's okay, you can play too. You know what? Try to bring that shit to a jazz gig, man. You know, it's like nobody. Jazz is a perfect example of a high standard of American music, where it's like, no, you can't. Anybody can't do it, man. You got to be good. You got to fucking pay your dues. You got to fucking know your shit.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna get up and say you're a fucking Grateful Dead cover band, or you're gonna get up and get on stage with us, who've given our life to this shit. You know, and they were nice kids and all that. That's what's kind of fucked up. They were nice kids. They didn't deserve any of the shit. But he didn't really say anything other than, you know, they just weren't good enough, you know. But they were collateral damage. But boy, oh boy, the internet sure fucking hopped on it.
Let him have it.
Yeah, and it actually affected some people in the scene and how they saw John. And I found myself like defending John. Is like, it was so fucked up because he's just fucking. He's giving his life to this music, man.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like for him to fucking give his life and then risk his life driving across the country back and forth, doing it in his van. You know, it's like. Mm-hmm. He feels like, you know, it's like, nah, man, you know, I'm going to fucking speak up for this shit. You know, it's like, you know, it's so fucked up, by the way, like for people, like when you got the gig with Furthur and people say, oh, who's this fake Jerry? Now, how many sax players go to New York and want to be John Coltrane? Nobody gives them shit.
Nobody says that's fake Coltrane.
That's so true.
Or fake Miles.
Right. You know, Jerry is as heavy as Coltrane, if you ask me.
Oh,
so
dude, I agree.
So, you know, to hold his standard up and fucking, you know, I mean, anyway, I'm getting on the soapbox.
No, man.
Anyway.
You know
I like to hear it.
Right,
one thing with this scene too, and it goes back forever to me, is it's funny with like hippie, the way like you're talking about this asshole promoter. A lot of people look at the Dead scene and like our scene, the jam band scene. Do not mistake our kindness for weakness. We will fuck you up, man.
Right.
We are deeper and heavier than you even know.
It's called do no harm, take no shit.
Oh,
yeah, we have our own justice.
I explained that to my boss when I first started. I said, look, man, I just want you to know there's a difference between a deadhead and a hippie. And he was like, really? What? And I said, a hippie will, you know, let it slide and turn the other cheek, and a deadhead might fuck you up.
Right.
Yeah,
man.
It's a trip, and you know what? Everybody's got their fucking opinions, and the internet has given us the world a place to air your fucking grievances without anybody seeing your face. But I guarantee you something, man. Those people that are talking shit, if they go see John play, they're like, "Oh fuck, go play John." Yeah,
we just saw last year. We saw John. We interviewed him, and then we ended up meeting him in person. We met Meg too at the Goodfoot.
Yeah.
When he was doing his solo tour, it was so cool. I mean, that guy's mind, to see him up there looping everything. And dude, it was just him. It was like, what the
it was amazing.
fuck is up with he's like a wizard.
Yeah, man, I love that guy. It's so funny too because on paper you would think a guy like him, who the way how he got into Dead, and a guy like me, how I got into Dead, you wouldn't think we would be getting along so great. You know what I mean? Because I've met some of these guys who are like, oh, you were just lucky. I've given my whole life to this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for
There's
John
got to be one.
The pedigree.
To be above that, more like, no, man, I know Weir saw something in you, and so do I. So it's like, we get along really good, me and that guy.
What it comes down to for me, and I think everybody at this table right now, is, do you like the music? Do you love it? Okay, cool. Hop on the bus. That's all it takes. You love it? Yeah. Right on. Let's go. Let's party.
Right. No matter how you got in there, but I was very lucky.
Good.
And did get into it because I wasn't into it. You know what I mean? I almost got turned on. You know?
Man. Fuck yeah.
By the guy himself and shit. So it's like a lot of people could see as all
you got the lineage passed down from the monk.
I was
master.
gonna say, I'm just gonna throw it out there because we're talking open and honestly. You're close with Bob. Tell Bobby that we would love to talk to him.
Okay.
He's not the, what I mean? In this world, he's not the type of dude that you want to like hit up like, hey man, can we talk to you? But you've met us now.
No, you know what? I'll tell him because I've sat there and listened to him give it. The questions were so, it's like, oh man, I feel so bad. He's got to fucking try to be nice and worry about what they're gonna write.
No man.
Well, now I know you get it, dude. We obviously you got it from talking to us, man.
I don't even write questions.
We don't write anything down. We cold call somebody we love like you, and we start talking.
You just get to know each other.
It's kind of like the Dead. It's organic.
Yeah.
It forms a life of its own.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's good shit, Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, brother? I appreciate you taking the time with us, man. And I'm stoked to get you.
You guys.
I'm stoked to get you meet you in person.
I stop talking because my voice is really going away.
I get it.
We got 5 gigs next week at Sweetwater. We're playing 5 nights. And I really wanted to sing. I've been listening to all these great bits. I've wanted to sing, and my voice is just like fucking gone. It's all
good,
man.
And here I got one. I'm going to cap this off. You started off with the coronavirus. I heard a horrible one today. What comes with the coronavirus, or what goes well with the coronavirus? Lyme disease. Get it? Corona and Lyme. Somebody told me that at work today. I was like, oh,
fired,
dude.
That's a good one.
You're fucking fired.
Thank you, Jay. Rest your voice.
Rest your voice, man. And we'll see you at Skull and Roses, man. I'll give you a hug.
All right, right on, you guys. See you down there.
All right, brother.
All right,
later.
Jay. Thanks.
Yeah,
Well, that was very frank and upfront, and I think Jay is an awesome person.
Jay's fucking awesome. I knew this just came up 2 days ago. You're like, dude, we're interviewing Jay Lane, and I was like, that one of all the things we've done, that kind of made me shit a little. I was kind of like,
really?
Well, I've loved Primus since the beginning.
So have I.
And I've loved everything he does. He's played with so many people. He's done so much shit. He's one of those hardworking, just awesome dudes.
He has the punk rock attitude in the Grateful Dead scene.
Yeah.
And that's what I recognized in him. That's
and
what
obviously
I was saying,
Bobby and a lot of people recognize this.
And that, I don't remember who we were talking to, but that's what attracted me to the Dead at first.
Like we always say, that they're more punk and metal than most punk and metal is, without hitting those notes. It's in the attitude.
It was like super DIY at the time. They were making their own shit. They were making their own flyers. They were playing their own music. They weren't letting anybody else really influence them. They were doing their own thing, and that's what punk rock was all about.
Yeah.
And then
fuck the system. Fuck the record companies.
They created their own fucking world, and guess what? We get to live in it and be a part of it now. It's pretty fucking rad.
Now we get to go to Skull and Roses and meet Jay in person and see all kinds of awesome stuff.
Have to bring him a joint.
Wow.
Yeah,
That was really cool.
That was fun. Mel, you with us?
Mel's doodling.
What did you got written
I
down
see a
there?
lot of,
I want to hear
that's a
what
lot
you
of,
wrote.
that's interesting.
Yeah, you wrote a lot.
Page there.
Got Reed bromance, acid and less at Costco. Freaky executives smoke weed, gets paid. Uptones.
I love your it's like the cliff notes of the interview. Fucking.
I need to borrow that when I do the show notes from now on.
You have to get a day job? ? I've got to be honest. Cool, dude. Let it be what it's gonna be.
All right.
Limelight.
Let it be.
Love light.
Whoopi Goldberg, Bobby McFerrin, demo tape.
Can you imagine Whoopi Goldberg's your camp counselor?
Bob style poking in and out.
He does poke in and out, and very angular.
I was lucky.
Dude, that's one of the coolest things to me is when we talk to somebody like that and they know. I mean, I can't think of anybody that we've talked to that didn't.
Yeah,
but
you can't compare anybody. They're all so
But my
great.
point,
Everybody we talk to is so humble.
My point
that
was
doesn't
that
happen in a lot of genres.
Talking to people like that are grateful for what they got. They're grateful for it, and they understand that they've been blessed, and that's fucking cool to see. Like, I can't think of another thing where people act like that. Like, you don't see corporate executives going, well, I've been very blessed and I'm just lucky because
David invited me to the team, and David's a rock star. David rocked that merger back in 2003.
He helped me move the needle before we grabbed all the
Then again, we're not in that world. Maybe that does exist.
I think that's bullshit.
Maybe David's fucking
people
awesome.
are grateful everywhere, and people recognize their luck everywhere. What you're trying to say, it's lucky when you bump into somebody that recognizes that.
Yeah.
No matter what scene or what job or what they're grateful for, it's fucking cool to be around people that are grateful and they know it. Gratitude like gives energy instead of takes.
Yeah.
So when you're around somebody who's constantly grateful for things and acknowledge their luckiness, you're receiving energy from them, like blessing, residual. And yeah, that feels
like
great.
we were just talking about. I mean, like look who Jay, like he's ended up playing, like Golden Geek. Sorry, guys. Golden Gate Wingman. Reed and John Kadlicek are two of our favorite interviews we've ever done.
Jesus, dude.
Wow.
Come on, man.
All
Those
right.
beers fucked you up.
I'll admit, I came home a little nervous and had to like drink 3 beers real quick to calm down.
I think he was such an awesome, said anything that he wanted to say. How there was no persona or filter or anything. He was just like, if we were hanging out in his backyard, that's what he would have said. If he was in a studio, that's what he would have said.
And
if he was anywhere, he would have said the same stuff.
I so appreciate it because you guys know me. I do that. Sometimes I get in trouble. Well, I don't get in trouble, but I get looked at weird at work and at home.
Well,
for
sometimes I
the
understand
shit
that
that comes out of my mouth
Yeah.
because I don't filter. If I'm upset, if I feel someone, it comes out, and then it's like, okay. And Jay's definitely got that.
It's good to follow somebody like that because it reminds you to just like be true to what you need to say.
You be you, boo.
Yeah, and that's not what he was even trying to do. He was just talking to us.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
So everybody out there, listen. Go get tickets for Skull and Roses. Go to www.skullandroses.com.
Killing it.
Or go to www.nosimpleroad.com and hit the link for tickets to Skull and Roses. Come hang out with Jay and the Rooster Conspiracy with... we didn't do it justice, and I'm going to read it right here. The Grateful Dead's Bill Kreutzmann became the founder and patriarch of Rooster Conspiracy when he was looking for a band to jam with on New Year's Day in 2017. He invited 3 friends and musical brethren, Eric Krasno, Reed Mathis, and Todd Stoops, that was the name I couldn't remember during the interview, to join him in a friend's backyard in Hawaii, where instruments were still set up from a New Year's Eve show the night before. They had no set list and hadn't prepared any songs. They just jammed. They were so floored by the sounds they created that they ended up playing again for hours the next day. Kreutzmann encouraged the band to continue jamming while he fulfilled his duties with Dead & Company and suggested Jay Lane as his substitute.
Dang.
Rooster Conspiracy has made just a handful of very select appearances since then, making each one a special event by transforming one Grateful Dead song into an entire set at a time, jamming them out till things you've never seen seem familiar.
Wow.
So that's what you can expect.
Awesome.
Anyway.
And Reed Mathis, I'm sorry. I just love you. Shout out Reed.
We all
What's up,
do.
Reed?
When he said
I'm
to me,
not sorry.
When he said when I brought up Reed, he's like, "Oh, okay, bro." It's like, yeah, we all do.
Yeah, we all do.
All us bros do have a bromance with Reed. You're awesome, Reed.
What is it with Reed? He reminds
He's
me.
a monk.
He's like the Virgin Mary. Like what I mean is like she's
What?
got that glow
Oh,
around
okay.
her, and like she's so recognizable as somebody that you just can. Yeah,
He
like
floats. He doesn't walk.
he
I've
flo-
seen Reed Mathis actually levitate. I have.
that's not true.
Mhm.
I haven't seen.
You don't
that.
know what I saw.
Okay, whatever. But just
I have a
there's
picture
something
of
so
Bob
special
Marley
about Reed, and we
meditating.
love you. That's all that I have to say.
All right.
And you, Jay, thank you so much for your rad
Thank you,
time.
Jay.
And your girls, God bless them, your family, all that. And
May the
Giving
force
us your
be with you.
time, man.
Yeah, man.
Time is precious, and we appreciate the peace you gave us.
Yeah, and speaking of pieces to give, go to patreon.com/No Simple Road and give us a
Give
cute
it.
dollar and sign up on the family tab at NoSimpleRoad.com for the newsletter and get some merch and follow the social medias and do all the things and whatnots and doodads and you know what to do.
Hip hop hoodadas, what you call
And
it.
last but not least,
What?
be nice to each other.
Yes.
Smile at a stranger.
Yeah.
Give somebody a hug that
as
needs
my
it.
mom would say, show some teeth.
Spread that love, but like
No, not- that's
I
not
said,
teat.
spread
That's
that
teeth.
love, be kind and everything. But then again, don't
take
put up
any
with
shit.
shit. Like I said, don't expect,
Yeah, stick
don't
up for yourself.
mistake our
Kindness
for weakness.
And you know what? Safety third.
Hydrate first.
And we'll see you next week with more stuff and things. And get your tickets for Skull and Roses, or you're going to be sad.
Happy New Year.
See you soon. What? It's like February. It's October. Happy New Year.
Just curb your enthusiasm.
I love you guys. Bye.
bend the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road. Shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Well, hey friends, my name is Zach Lupitin. You may know me from the band Dust Bowl Revival, but I also host a music discovery podcast called The Show on the Road. For the last 5 seasons, I've been able to dive deep and have intimate chats with folks like the Lumineers, Ani DeFranco, Wolfpack, Keb Mo, Lake Street Dive, Bela Fleck, and more. So guess what? After 150 conversations with some of my favorite songwriters from around the world, we are bringing brand new episodes to the Osiris Network. New interviews and intimate acoustic performances will be coming at you this summer. And which episodes are coming next, you ask?
I am Zach Goody, the lead singer for the band Smash Mouth.
Our band is called Milky Chance. We are based in Berlin.
My name is David Shaw. I sing and write songs with my band, The Revivalists.
Trust me, these conversations go some wild places. So subscribe to The Show on the Road on Osiris, and we'll see you soon.